let's get started with this second part then. We need to replace some of the lost panel lines and what have you. So I'm using this thick 3M tape. As you can see, it's quite a big roll. You can pick these rolls up for very little money. It's ideal for using as a guide. So I'm just going to lay it on. Then with a scribing tool or something similar, I'm going to replace all the lost panel lines. And then all it is just rinse and repeat. Do it exactly the same everywhere I need it. And this tape is really easy to use, and it can be used quite a few times. Once all the prep work was done, it was time to prime and then go on and do some pre-shading. So primed with black and dished it some pre-shading with some really, well, I think it was white actually. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you saw it there. And once done, it'll look something like this. We then can move on to the belly colour, which is, this case is a blue, which again just sprayed on with light coats, gently covering the work I'd already done. Next up was the camo work. So start with a base coat of putting like the sandy colour down. Once this is down, I then take my time and just mask up with some blue tack to get all the camo colours that I need to be able to complete it. And as you can see, with some white tack, some masking tape and a bit of patience, we can then we can mask up, and then we can attack the rest of the camo. Now, the colour you can see me lying down there is actually the wrong colour. It wasn't quite green enough for my liking, so I went back over these colours later on in the build, which you won't see. The next part of this you'll see is be all painted, and we can start on the weathering. So at this point it's all been gloss coated, it's had the decals on, and I am basically just making a wash, like a dark sandy type muddy colour, just out of some oil paints and some thinner, just to, you know, because I haven't got this colour in wash, and just to add a little bit of interest. To remove the wash, I'm just going to use some thinners on a cotton bud, but I'm going to get rid of most of those thinners and then just wipe in the direction of the airflow. In some instances, and in some, you can make a circling motion just to remove most of it, and you're left with just some in the panel lines. Now I'm starting to add some chips. So on every single one of these, I'm going to use the base colour and then just add some white and some thinner. So I've got a really thin colour, and then I'm just going to pick out some chips here, there, everywhere where I think there might be high chip marks or anything like that. So remember, this is a bird from Afghanistan, and it would have got used and abused. Now it's time to add some interest to the fuel tanks. Just a brown colour and a blacky colour. So all I'm doing is picking out some of the panel lines for like where stains have accumulated and all that sort of stuff. Just really randomly on both sides to just give a bit of depth, shall we say. Up, it's to pick up some of the panels, so picking up some panels, just using some smoke just to darken some of the actual panel lines and stuff like that, just to make them more pronounced, just to again to make this bird look grimy as it's been well used but not necessarily well loved. Next up, we need to add a bit more detail to these drop tanks. So I'm just adding some scratches, some chips, just general wear and tear. First, a black watercolor pencil, just to add some scratches to it, and then in a minute I'll be adding some chips with browns and burnt umbers and stuff like that. And there we are, there's the finished article. As you can see, we've got some chips, some scratches, and all that sort of stuff. Again, it's just to add a little bit more detail. Next up, we're going to add some stainings, or just with some black oil paint. Just dab it on, then with a wider brush, a little bit dampened in thinners, and I'm just going to, blend it in. Just to make it, again, grime. These aircraft were absolutely filthy. There we are, after adding some pastels and some pigments and some lighter oil shades, I think she's all done. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.